Recently, I snapped. I yelled at him, saying some hurtful things that I didn't mean, like how his interests bore me, that he needs to get a social life, and even questioned why I married him.
Okay, it sounds like you hate your husband.
The thing that happened as well is that before he was questioning their marriage, she questioned theirs.
Cause she made that comment, why did I even marry you? Yeah, that's a wild comment. Facts.
If your homie said that though, hey bro, we plexing. What's good, homie? What's good, homie? What's good, bro? You saying that to me? What's good, peeps? It's your boy JP back at it again with another reaction video, and today we are reacting to Aberrant Preach. Shout out to Aberrant Preach, the ghost, you know what I mean? And today's video is she destroyed her husband's self-esteem. Now he wants a divorce, so she's crying. I don't understand how when you treat people bad and they want to leave, you are sad about that. I mean, why would you treat them bad then? I don't know. But people do it all the time, so I guess we'll go figure that out. But before we figure that out, I need you to hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper Gang. We keeping it PG. There's a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. So with that being said, without further ado, let's just get into the video.
I, 27 female, screamed at my husband, 28 male, over his hobbies, and now he's changed, and I don't know how to fix this.
Oh, man.
Hey everyone, I need some advice about a situation with my husband. We've been married for 4 years. He has a room where he keeps all his hobbies: sim racing, aviation setups, soccer analysis tools, Lego sets, music production equipment. Basically, it's his sanctuary. He's super analytical and loves writing down and dissecting things, from sports to politics. He's slightly on the spectrum and very introverted, so he doesn't have close friends. I'm really the only person he shares everything with. He's always inviting me into his space to be part of his interests. I love him and appreciate that he wants to include me, but sometimes I...
Damn, is she talking about me? Shit, a lot, like 80% of what she said, it identifies with me. That's crazy.
Just need some time for myself. Recently, I snapped. I yelled at him, saying some hurtful things that I didn't mean, like how his interests bore me, that he needs to get a social life, and even questioned why I married him.
Okay, it sounds like you hate your husband.
I regret every word, but my anger got the best of me, and I couldn't control it in that moment. Since then, he's completely changed. He stopped spending time in his room, moved to sleeping on a couch, and barely talks to me. He even ignored our usual tradition of watching our home nation soccer team play, something he'd never skipped before. Instead, he was working on his laptop, breaking our no work at home rule. When I asked him about it, he said he didn't care about the game and mentioned that maybe he should be more like his father, who's a workaholic and whom my husband idolizes. He even added, I don't blame him for divorcing at the age now, and I've apologized multiple times, but he just says, it's okay, maybe you're right, and shuts down any attempts I make to talk about his interests. I'm terrified he's considering divorce. I know I messed up, but I don't know how to rebuild trust and help him feel valued and loved again. I don't want to lose him, but I'm unsure how to approach this.
So I'm not, for those that want to beat up on the girl, on the lady, I don't think that's the appropriate way to do that. I don't think what she did was, it was ill intent in the emotional state she was when she said it. I think that she had some issues about, she felt some type of way about the ways he was doing it. Instead of communicating that properly through the time frame, over the period of time, she just built it all up, and when she just exploded, she exploded. There's nothing wrong with feeling some type of way about how your partner lives his life. It's just an incompatibility issue, and not so much of a I hate him and I don't like you. I think it's not so ill. I think she do really like the dude. I think she does really care about him. It's just she didn't feel like some of her needs was being met either. And I felt like he was putting a lot of his attention into what he wanted to do, and maybe wasn't meeting all of her needs as well. And a relationship is a two-party system. So I do think she just lashed out incorrectly, and she did it. I think she truly felt the way she felt, but she went about it the wrong way and then expressed that, hey, so I think people can compromise on what you want to do if you can meet their needs as well. I think she was being a little selfish too, But we're gonna see what Aberrant Preacher got to say. I don't want to come in this with trying to beat up on the lady and saying you're a bad, because I think that's what most people gonna do. Oh, she full of crap. She full of this. She da. And it's like, bro, like y'all gotta understand. She got needs too, though. You know what I mean? And though I think he was probably insecure about the way he was going about things when it comes to his wife, I just think the way she approached it could have been better. But let's see what they got to say.
And make amends. Any advice?
You definitely have to go to therapy, learn how to communicate better.
Yeah, I think she needs to learn how to communicate better. And I think he needs to also learn how to, not get so zoned out in his own man cave and focus on how, he did try to include her in this and that, but sometimes you can't just love people in the way you want them to be loved. Because I think they're both doing the same thing. I think he wants her to be in his world and she wants him to be in her world. They're not really compatible in the midst of it, right? But even then, you can still try to make it work if y'all both step out y'all world into each other's world for a little bit before you go back into your own world. You can still make it work, but it's just that it's not the easiest and it's not the best type of relationship to make it work, but you can still make an incompatible relationship work if you work on it. It just takes a lot of work. And most people, even me to a degree, wouldn't want to do that. So
couples therapy could help as well if he's willing to. But yeah, it seems like you're just dumping on your husband for who he is as a person.
His home and that room and her was his safe space. And the fact that like he got yelled at for it, to me, that's betrayal. It's just like, wow, you can't accept me for who I am. And that's a huge deal breaker.
As a resident married person, what are your thoughts?
You fucked up. And here's where you fucked up. You lashed out at him. You dissed his hobbies. You dissed the relationship that you have. You said some mean and hurtful things. That's resentment. And from what I understand, if you choose to not speak about your expectations, that becomes resentment that you chose. You have
right. And that's what I meant when I was saying. That's what I'm saying when I was like, over the period of time, she should have expressed how she felt, not wait till it all built up and then she lashed out. Like I say, they really incompatible because she immediately don't value what he does. And I think that's probably the issue, the most issue. It can be fixed. Again, it takes a lot of work though. So sometimes, is it really worth it?
Resentment for that person or for the toys or for the whatever. It doesn't even matter if that guy's on the spectrum or an introvert. Your home is your safe space. It's where you're supposed to be the most at peace. Supposed to be. So he built this thing where he invites you in his realm and everything and stuff. So what does that mean? That means that as a man, he opens up. Things that most of the time you might be clowned about. Because he's nerdy. Because he's geeky and autistic. And he opens up and he lets you in the world that he's in. And what you decide to do with that, you decide to spit in it, crush it to the ground, and step on it. That's what you did. I don't have the tools to save your marriage, but I can tell you what you did for you to better understand what you did and how crazy.
But and I get what Preacher's saying. I agree, right? I think spin on the step. That was what she did. I think it was an irrational decision at that moment. You can tell that she really loved him and she didn't want to lose him. That's why she's crying and she didn't want to leave. She don't want him to leave because she really does love him probably. The problem is she felt like that for a reason, not just because he wasn't only like, unless they did blind, they fell in love blindly and didn't know who they was and just got married. You know that love at blind sight. You know that damn show I'm talking about. Unless they did that, she already knew he was like that and still decided to marry him. So she do actually like the dude. I think, and maybe he wasn't capable of doing that, I think he wasn't meeting her needs either. So because her needs wasn't met, she found resentment in what he was doing, and she lashed out. I think. We're going to see.
That is. When someone does that to you with your hobbies, with what you believe, what you thought was true.
And I'm not trying to be like, it's his fault at the beginning. No. It's still her fault. because she didn't communicate her expectations, and instead of communicating it properly over a period of time, she just lashed out. So it's still her fault. I'm not absolving her or nothing, but let's get to why she felt like that and why it kept building up in the first place. Because a lot of times women are okay, because women can be selfish for real. A lot of times women are okay with you being who you are if they get what they want. She wasn't getting whatever she wanted, and we trying to figure out what that is.
That person cannot trust you no more. And now you want him to open up? Oh, how can I make it better? Let me tell you something, my girl. There's some kinds of disrespect that shuts door that will never be open again. How can I fix it? I don't know if you can. Because the amount of time and the amount of trust it took him to open up to you, and you turn around and you did that, I don't know how you're going to be able to fix that. You could say, hey, you need therapy, you need couples therapy. That's if he wants.
Okay, let me ask a question. If you're married to somebody, and let's say we're in the hypothetical that this is not a consistent habit of theirs to her to shit on his hobbies like crazy or whatever it is, and this is the first time, wouldn't the expectation be that he kind of should be trying to fix things with her if she's trying as well? Like, isn't this the kind of thing we would expect married people to work through?
So if that person cheat on you first one time, are you gonna try?
Whoa, preach. Why you went from somebody expressing themselves to just outright disrespect? I mean, even then you can still work that out if you want to, but cheating and like expressing your neglect or how you feel, it's whoa, you didn't jumped, brother. You jumped. That was far.
Work on that.
Well, I think.
Or you're going to try to work on betrayal?
Well, it depends, right? If you're asking me cheating or her saying I don't like your hobbies, I think they're fucking lame, get a social life, I think there's a different threshold, correct?
Exactly.
There's certain things that we'd expect you to work back from and certain things you wouldn't.
No.
No, that's not preach. That's not the same, brother. No. Those are different levels of disrespect. Granted, she was rude, but it comes from somewhere, and she at least expressed it. She could have just downright cheated on him and left, but she didn't. She expressed it, so it is levels to it. I'm sorry, I'm yapping. I'm let y'all go. Okay.
Betrayal is betrayal. Whether she sucked or had a lap dance, fuck that shit.
Yes, doing something sexual with somebody else, to me, whatever it is, whether you're sucking their fingers and then licking their face,
not different.
To me, I don't feel there's a difference. Level. But that has nothing. No. You're conflating things.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Yes,
when I talk about sexual stuff that has nothing to do with someone and the things they might say to you, it's a different category.
Okay,
right.
So peep game. Mm-hmm. To that person, that might be their betrayal.
I'm saying, isn't this part of the threshold that most of us would look at a married couple and say, that's something you should work back from? That sometimes in the heat of the moment, people will say hurtful things to each other, especially over the course of a long marriage. And that can vary to degrees, right? And people...
Because okay, I'm sorry. But what I want to say is being in a relationship is not easy. Dealing with people on a deep level and you living with each other for a while, that's not easy. It's going to be times where y'all going to, just like with your brothers, you done fought, y'all done got into it, and y'all made it amends. It's gonna happen, but we gotta look at where's the neglect, where is this feelings coming from? That's okay.
I have lower thresholds than others. I'm just asking the question: is this, in your opinion, past this threshold of people saying, "Yeah, we shouldn't work back from this"?
I don't consider this a normal person. You understand what I'm saying? So
it is though. We all have resentment to certain things that people do on a regular basis it's your job, as a person to communicate. This is not abnormal. What she did is not like super extreme as the title made it seem, because the title made it seem crazy. But that was, they gotta do what they gotta do to get the views. But this is not abnormal. Like, this is something you should work on, unless she was doing this at a consistent basis, like constantly talking about his hobbies, constantly calling him a nerd, constantly calling him a loser, and doing this regularly, then that's different. But to lash out one time because it didn't build up, nah, this can be worked through for sure.
It's like, yeah, we should, on our side, we're like, yeah, get over it. You should work on that. You know what I mean? You should work on that.
Because it's a cry for help. When she lashed out that one time, that was a cry for help. And that's why I wanted to alliterate at the beginning of the video when I stopped it at the beginning. her lashing out, that's why I want to beat up on her, because she was really having a cry for help. She just didn't know how to go about it the right way. And she said some really hurtful things that he's never going to forget, right? But you can still work from that if you understand where it comes from.
That's like, come on now, B. I understand that. You guys should be able to work through and get over it. That's what I mean by that.
Sure.
But, yo, from what I understand with people that are introvert, like, it takes them a lot to share.
Sure.
So it's not just as, like, a normal hobby, I shit on your mangas, and you're like, whatever.
But I want to try to look at it from this perspective. I'm sorry I keep stopping, but listen to this. Look at it from this perspective. He probably shared a whole lot about how he felt about a lot of things, about how he liked to do this, and that, and open up to her. How many times did he allow her, not did allow, but how many times did he ask her, how do you feel? And maybe he did, because I might have to go back to the beginning, and maybe he did, and maybe she just didn't express, and that would be her fault. But if he didn't ask to consider her feelings, well, then that's a part of neglect as well.
But that goes both ways, doesn't it? Like, if someone spent this much time that you decided to marry them, that you felt safe with them this long, that means that they must have made you feel safe for quite some time period, right?
And now they don't.
Right. My whole point is, like, you can't just look at that history and say it doesn't exist. I can also understand that you can say, well, it's so hard to even get here, but don't forget, like, you haven't really gotten here with that many people. And this person, for a long time, was your support beacon. We, as people who are reading this story, are reading it with none of the history that they have. On n'a pas l'historique.
Yeah, but I'm going with the clues that I got. So whenever you say, oh, we had the rules about no work at home and everything and stuff, I feel like that person, maybe that person is petty. Maybe that person is has a hard time forgiving people, whatever, whatnot. But the way that person is reacting, that was a huge fuck you and forget you and forget everything about you.
Because it was a cry for help, though. When people feel like they back against the wall, and technically it wasn't, but when people feel like they didn't have enough and they're back against the wall, they do say some hurtful things that they probably regret because they didn't realize they were just focusing on themselves and not the other person. But if this isn't a regular occurrence, it can be fixed. Depending on what you say and how far you go with it, as long as you put your hands and whatnot. But a lot of that can be fixed, for real.
Let me just shit on everything. So on this side, the response to some people is like, oh, F me?
Right.
Cool.
But this ain't no regular person that you saying this to. This is your wife. So, like, if you care about the relationship, you're supposed to be like, all right, if this was just an acquaintance, then what Preach saying makes complete sense. This is somebody deeper than that. So you're supposed to have a little bit more patience, is the word, with them when it comes to stuff like this.
F you too.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
you're not going to make any effort? I'm not going to make any effort either.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because Preach is married. So I think, right? I think Preach is married. So, like, brother, you got to do better than that. All due respect, I love them. Like, they are some of my favorite content creators. But yeah, like, nah, like, Preach, come on, bro.
He not only just you also said fuck myself.
Yeah.
Because he said, why don't I just be like my workaholic dad, you know what I mean, and just do this shit because apparently you don't like who I am, so I'm gonna stop being me, right? But
the thing that happened as well is that before he was questioning their marriage, she questioned theirs.
Because she made that comment, why did I even marry you?
And even questioned why I married him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a wild comment. Facts.
If I gotta keep on loving you, don't be mad because I changed. Because I gotta change.
There was so much crazy shit in there. That one slipped my mind until you brought it back.
No, but that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I don't know why you don't. That's a shutdown.
Granted, it's still disrespectful. I still stand on my stance. That was a cry for help. Because though she said that, the way she felt afterward because if she said that, then afterwards, like, he stopped talking, she stopped talking, she didn't care to fix it, he didn't care to fix it, then that why did I even marry you would be a deal breaker. But the fact that afterwards she tried to fix it, she regret what she said. And she felt like she went overboard. She just latched. It was a cry for her. I'm going to stand on that. Because she tried to fix it afterwards. She realized how bad she messed up. That means it's still humility there. She actually still cares. She just overreacted. And from that, you can still fix that. I stand on that.
Wrap it up, bro.
That's hurtful.
I don't know.
It is hurtful. It was a cry for help, though. And women can be selfish as hell when they really hurt and they really down bad. They can say some hurtful shit. They don't think with logic all the time. They're emotional. So like they will say some hurtful shit and then be like, damn, they logic kicked in way later and like, damn, why did I say that? That's why I was like, sometimes you can't always take what they say to the moon and back. If your homie said that though, hey bro, we plexing. What's good, homie? What's good, homie? What's good, bro? You saying that to me? Squirrel, what's good?
Even married. Woo!
Breeze past that one, but put this in the beginning.
Wrap it up.
And put me saying that in the end. Put that in the beginning.
Wrap it up. I don't even.
Yeah,
You get to me. It's crazy to be like, I don't even know why I married you, and I don't know how to fix it. Woo! I'm gonna tell you how you fix that. Go find out what it is that you wanted to marry me, and then figure it out. And then
Okay, granted, I get it, but with her emotions up and your pride up, that's a recipe for disaster. It can be fixed. Hear me out. I'm telling you. I know I sound crazy. Trust me, I'm not tripping.
I put myself there. I'm sitting across somebody. We've been struggling together for 7 years because I'm assuming they've been dating for 3 minimum. That's average before people get married. 7 years, right? 4-year marriage. As soon as you say some shit like that to me, and I gotta sit back, I'm like, bitch, with all the shit we done sacrificed, all the changing, combining our lives, conversations, job changes, whatever the fuck it is, and you gonna say some shit like you don't know why? I'm gonna be actually honest. Let me bring that shit back. Out of everything that was said,
that was the worst.
That was the worst.
100%.
Now that I think about it,
no, I'm hot.
This is why I'm hot. I'm hot because you ain't because you ain't. Okay, but no, that was definitely.
So that's the reason why he went. That's the reason why he went. No, but you know, my dad. I understand why he divorced.
I get why, and he not wrong for responding the way he responded. It's just if you care about this marriage and you care about that woman, you can fix it. Cause she wants to fix it. Cause she feel like she overdid it. This is not like this is a regular occurrence. I still stand on that. I think what Abby was saying at the beginning, it was correct. I get what she said at the end can initiate a man's pride and be like, hey, bro, what you mean? And I get it. That's not wrong for you to feel that way. But you gotta understand it's deeper than that when afterwards she actually tried to fix it. It's deeper than that. Now, okay, I get it. Again, if this is a regular occurrence and it occurs more after this, throw the marriage away. But if it's a one-time thing, bro, you can fix that.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt.
You know what, Preach? You brought me to your side.
He still ain't brought me to his side because I stand on that. That's wrong. He wrong.
Brought me to your side. I'm gonna say that. Nah, you brought me to your side. I'm a minute. You know, I was definitely. But that comment is definitely like a.
Wow! If you want to fix it, go figure out why you married me, and then we could talk about that. Because then saying I don't know how to fix it, my girl, I don't know how to fix that.
I want you to think. Even forget a marriage. Like you and I work together, and if I said some shit like, "Nigga, I don't even know why I do this fucking channel," oof. To me, that's just. That is deep. That's a level of invalidation.
After all the shit we done been through.
Yeah, you didn't just invalidate my hobbies and like.
You can fix it. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all watch the rest of their video. I get what they said. They're talking from a position of pride. When your pride get into it, and this is where pride can be the devil. Because I'm a strong advocate for, hey, hold your pride. Because sometimes you need it and it's going to work in your favor. But when it's the person, because she spoke from ego and pride and hurt, and you responded in that, it's just going to clash. If you actually care about that person and this ain't, and this was just a one-time occurrence, just figure out where that came from. Because when people hurt and they feel neglected, they can say some really, really hurtful shit. Even if they don't mean it, they can say it. Because they want you to feel as much hurt as they feel. So it can be worked out, bro. And this is why you need to really go to therapy and let therapists tell you stuff like this and not just listen to us YouTubers. You know what I mean? But shout out to Abra and Preach. Preach ain't bring me over there because I know I'm standing on what I'm saying. It can be worked out. I get he is right he is right to respond and feel the way he feel. But after all them emotions come down, think with your head. It can be fixed, bro. Because she's trying to fix it, you can fix it too. I think what Abra was saying at the beginning still stands true. It can be fixed. Now, if she wasn't trying to fix it at the end, and she didn't give a fuck, she cares so much that she even reached out to somebody to give her some advice. She cares, bro. She just went too far. It can be fixed. He just gotta let his pride down and say, I love you. You love me. We're going to make this work. But if you ever do that again, it won't be a second chance. I mean, it won't be a third chance. I mean, it can be fixed, bro. And she better cook a meal for a year straight. She better make it up to him too. And she better start making YouTube videos with him or something to make it up to him. But with that being said, man, y'all work on y'all relationships, bro. And shout out to Abra and Preach. Y'all go subscribe to them if you haven't seen them, but they got enough subscribers, so come subscribe to me. You know what I mean? I think I took the W in this one. They took the L, I took the W. Listen to me next time. No, I'm playing. But shout out to them, though. And go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Join the Prosper Gang. We keeping it PG. There's a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. And remember, there is nothing impossible to they who try. Don't give up, y'all. Till next time, I'm out. Deuce.